Right, that's testing, that's testing, that's testing. And go. Right then, well, welcome back to the MotoGP World Championship here at Istanbul circuit in Turkey. This is round 3 of the MotoGP World Championship of 2007, and it's Valentino Rossi who will start on pole position in this race, and also he leads the World Championship after winning the race previously in the second round of the season at Jerez in southern Spain. So, he will start on pole position as he lines up towards the grid now. Comes the doctor. Here he is, the number 46, the doctor, Valentino Rossi. He lines up on pole position at a track he's never won at before. Istanbul's been on the Grand Prix calendar since 2005, but he has never won at this racetrack. The last two winners, well, the last winner, in fact, who's won the last 2 races here, was Marco Melandri, despite coming under pressure from Casey Stoner in the previous race in 2006, and they both jostled for the lead. Well, it was a great race, it was, between Melandri, Stoner, Hayden, and Pedrosa, with Pedrosa crashing on the last lap out of 3rd place, and then it went between Melandri and Stoner. But meanwhile, Valentino Rossi starts on pole position at a track he's never won at before. Could this be the day? And if he does win today, he will extend his lead in the World Championship standings. This should be a good race. Bernie Ecclestone called Istanbul circuit one of the best tracks on the planet. And it is literally straddling across the border between Europe and Asia. So, Rossi starts on pole, 45 points. He is leading the championship. 2nd in Qatar, 1 in Spain at Jerez. His debut was Sepang 1996, and he's looking to extend his lead here in the World Championship here in 2007. Can he win for the first time here at Istanbul? So this would be a great win for him if he can pull it today and get his Yamaha up for grabs for the win, just like what it happened in Jerez. Because as soon as he overtook Danny Pedrosa at the dry sack corner at Jerez, no one could get past him from there, from the first lap, and Rossi just dominated the race from there. Simple as that. Thing is, can he do it today at Istanbul? But the funny thing is that the top 3 finishers of Jerez, Valentino Rossi, Danny Pedrosa, and Colin Edwards, all 3 of them finished in the top 3 at Jerez. The only difference being is that Rossi's teammate, the Texas Tornado, Colin Edwards, starts 2nd on the grid, and Danny Pedrosa starts 3rd. Yet Pedrosa finished 2nd in Jerez. Colin Edwards finished 3rd. So, Rossi's on pole. Colin Edwards starts 2nd on the grid, and Yamaha are really hoping to look to get another superb weekend here of MotoGP. This man, though, the little samurai, the man 3rd in the championship with 36 points, Danny Pedrosa. Could he stop the 2 Yamahas today and get Repsol Honda's first victory since Nicky Hayden at Laguna Seca in 2006? Could this be the day for Danny? And this would be Danny's first win since Donington 2006, if he can do it today. He does look very focused, Danny Pedrosa. But I think that's probably because his aim, because the person he couldn't beat in Jerez, the one person he couldn't beat in Jerez was indeed Valentino Rossi. That'll be his target today, is to simply beat Rossi. But watch out for this man, Casey Stoner. Stoner and Pedrosa are both 2nd in the championship on 36 points, but Stoner is classified 2nd due to his win at Qatar. Rossi and Pedrosa and Colin Edwards, they need to watch out for this man because he is fast on that Ducati, and he was so close to winning this race 12 months ago, but lost out in that final battle with Marco Melandri. So, can Casey Stoner get his 2nd victory of his MotoGP career in the top class and his second victory in 2007. But his teammates up there as well. Here he is, Loris Capirossi, 5th on the grid. He had a disastrous race in Jerez, down in 12th place. And in Qatar, he set the fastest lap of the race while in 5th place, but crashed out of the race. This could be redemption day for Loris, and this could fire him back to the top 10 in the MotoGP standings. So this won't be an easy race for Loris. So can he be up there with the top guys? And like we say, it's great to see him back at the front of the grid on the second row. Because he qualified 7th in Qatar, 15th in Jerez, and he is 5th on the grid here in Istanbul. One of the championship favourites. He could come back in proper form today, but as could this man. The reigning world champion, Nicky Hayden, 6th in the championship on 17 points. He has had an excellent qualifying session, but he has had a tough start to the season. 8th in Qatar, 7th in Jerez. But the thing is, can he make things better today? Because he's had 2 very difficult races. Because he hasn't got on with the new 800cc motor whatsoever. That could change today. His American compatriot, John Hopkins, Hopper, is just behind him in 7th on the grid. And he has had a pretty impressive start to the season. He had a brilliant race at Qatar in 4th. Jerez, he was lying 4th, but crashed out of the race while in 4th. He was behind Edwards. He was just ahead of Nicky Hayden and Tony Elias, but Hopper crashed out. He will want to bounce back today. Now here's Randy Depunier, 8th on the grid. Not bad for the Kawasaki rider, the Frenchman. He's 8th on the grid. Could he make an impression today? In Qatar, well, the first 2 races haven't been easy for him. Like Capirossi, had a disastrous Jerez race down in 13th. In Qatar, he was running with Nicky Hayden in the middle group in about 11th or 12th place, but he crashed out. So it has been a tough start to the season for the Frenchman. Here's another one to watch, though. The man who was on pole position here 12 months ago in 2006, Chris Vermeulen. He is 7th in the standings on 16 points. He's 9th on the grid in this race. Could the Suzuki boys catch up and run with the front guys today? That's the question. Because the thing is, well, Vermeulen, like Hopkins, hasn't really had the best of starts. He did finish 7th in Qatar. He was mainly in the middle throughout the entire of the first race. He overtook Nicky Hayden in the closing parts of the races, and he finished in 7th place. And then in Jerez, he finished 9th after a big battle with Shinya Nakano and Alex Barros. Here's Tony Elias, the man who had a great race in Jerez, finishing in 4th. He is currently 8th in the standings due to his disastrous race in Qatar, finishing in 14th. He's on 15 points. And the thing is, he's another one that can mix up with the front guys. And this is a track he really likes as well. He's also the lap record holder here, as he proved 12 months ago in 2006. Here's another Frenchman on a Kawasaki, Olivier Jacques, OJ. He is 11th on the grid on the 4th row. Obviously, Randy Depunier's teammate. He's come back this season after a year out. Well, technically, in 2005, he was in half of the season due to replacing Alex Hoffman several times during the season. But he's back. He hasn't had, like Depunier, hasn't had an easy start to the season. Literally, like in Qatar, Qatar didn't have a great start. Jerez, he didn't have a great race at all. So, another one that could turn it around today is Olivier Jacques. 12th on the grid is Shinya Nakano. He has had a very hard start to the season. He's another one. He's like Nicky Hayden, like Marco Melandri. He's been complaining about the new 800cc for the Honda. He's another one that will want to bounce up there with the front guys. He might be missing his time at Kawasaki because obviously he departed Kawasaki for the Konica Minolta Honda team. But the thing is, can Shinya Nakano make this race a big impression for him? We've just had Alex Barros then. He's 13th on the grid. He's wearing a helmet that looks like the Stig from Top Gear, but the Brazilian's 13th on the grid. He's obviously come back this season for MotoGP. He's another one that could also potentially come up through with the front guys. Finished 9th in Qatar, and then he was in the mid pack in 11th place in Jerez. And now here is the man who has won the last 2 races here at Istanbul, Marco Melandri. He is 14th on the grid. Hasn't been a great qualifying session for him. He has to gain a lot of positions if he wants to fight with the front guys for the race. The funny thing is that he won the race in 2006 from 14th on the grid. So the thing is, can Marco do it again? We've just seen Kenny Roberts Jr. He's 18th on the grid. He's another one that struggled. As we look at Valentino Rossi doing his pre-rituals before the race. Dani Pedrosa looks very full of concentration. Pedrosa is full of concentration. Rossi's doing his rituals. Look at Stoner. Stoner's full of concentration as well. This is going to be one hell of a race. 2006 proved that. It was an absolute fantastic race between the Hondas of Melandri, Stoner, Hayden and Pedrosa. Settage Banau was battling with them, as was Chris Vermeulen. And John Hopkins. They were there. It's an exciting track, and like I said, Bernie Ecclestone called this track one of the best on the planet. So hopefully, I know he's Formula One material, but hopefully we will see a cracking MotoGP race today. So here we go then. Istanbul in Turkey. Tony Elias is obviously the lap record holder. So there's the front row. Rossi, Edwards, Pedrosa. The 3 racers that finished in the top 3 at Jerez, and they're all Michelin runners. But do watch out for the Ducatis on row 2 with Stoner and Capirossi, and then the reigning world champion Nicky Hayden just behind. Then it's John Hopkins, Randy Depunier and Chris Vermeulen on row 3. They're just behind, with Tony Elias, Olivier Jacques and Shinya Nakano on row 4. Alex Barros, Marco Melandri and Makoto Tamada on row 5. All of them are Grand Prix winners in the MotoGP class. And then it's Carlos Checa, Alex Hoffman, the German, and Kenny Roberts Jr. on row 6, with Sylvain Guintoli, the other tech-free Yamaha, the yellow bike, the Frenchman, at the back of the grid, 19th on the grid. So the warm-up lap is about to start anytime soon. So, and yes, here we go. The warm-up lap is underway. Final sighting lap, and then we've got 22 laps to enjoy for here, round 3 of the MotoGP World Championship at Istanbul. The Turkish Grand Prix. On board with Valentino Rossi, desperate to win back the world title from Nicky Hayden, and he's also desperate to claim his first ever victory at Istanbul. He has never won at Istanbul before. Didn't win in 2005, finished 2nd, finished 4th in 2006. Can he finish top today from pole? What can he do as we as they head towards turn 6? They head towards turn 6 for the warm-up lap. All warming the tyres up. Watch out for the likes of Stoner. Watch out for Pedrosa. Watch out for Hayden, Melandri, Capirossi. Even watch out for Colin Edwards. He could put an impression on Valentino Rossi today. The thing is, though, despite Rossi being on pole and dominating the race at Jerez, apart from the very first part of the race, which Dani Pedrosa was leading the race, and then Rossi just overtook him at the dry sack corner. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be an easy race for Rossi because it's they're all gonna be there, and this is a track that produces great racing. Not saying that Jerez doesn't produce great racing, because it does, but I feel Jerez is a track Rossi knows a lot better than Istanbul. And the bikers are now approaching the M section, the final part of the track, and they will get to the start-finish straight. Today's spectators' attendance is 40,052. That's a great attendance. Obviously, the fans love the sport. The fans love watching these bikers race, and they're going to find out we are going to find out in 22 laps on who will win this race. Who will win this race here then in Turkey today? It's going to be a tough one. It's round 3 of the MotoGP World Championship. Valentino Rossi starts on pole position for Yamaha, with the Texas Tornado, his teammate Colin Edwards, just alongside him. Dani Pedrosa on the edge of the front row. Look out for the Ducatis on the second row. You know how much of a brilliant start they get. Watch out for Stoner, Capirossi and Hayden. The lights are about to go to red and we're on the way! Pedrosa got a terrible start. The Ducatis are already passing, but it is going to be Valentino Rossi who takes over at the front already. It is the two Yamahas first and second, with the two Ducatis third and fourth. Pedrosa, awful start. He's already down to 7th place. Hayden's passing. Look at Tony Elias. Tony Elias has made a brilliant start. He's in 5th, just behind the Yamahas and the Ducatis. That's a great start for Tony Elias from 10th on the grid. But it is Valentino Rossi who leads this way. But I think the Ducatis are going to give him a hard time. Look at Stoner already. He's pressurising Colin Edwards immediately. Can he get past the Texas Tornado? Nicky Hayden's in 5th, just behind Loris Capirossi, while Dani Pedrosa, as I said, has had a terrible start. And Stoner gets through on Edwards, so Stoner doesn't want Rossi to get away at the front. So Stoner is in 2nd, past the Texas Tornado of Colin Edwards. Capirossi's passed as well, so Edwards has already gone down to 4th. And Hayden has lost a position to Hopkins, and I think that's Tony Elias trying to go past Nicky Hayden, but not quite. Otherwise, Tony Elias would then become the leading Honda. But Rossi leads the way from Stoner 2nd, Capirossi 1st. John Hopkins goes 4th. He's past the Texas Tornado. Hopper's 4th. The Texas Tornado, Edwards is 5th. The Kentucky Kid, Nicky Hayden, is 6th. With Tony Elias and Dani Pedrosa just behind, as we see Kenny Roberts Jr. at the back of the field. But it is Rossi. Oh, someone's gone wide. Someone's gone right. It's Rossi. Rossi has gone wide on the fastest corner of the circuit. And the fastest corner in MotoGP, and now Stoner hits the front. What has happened to Rossi here? He's gone so far down to 5th place. Oh, and we have had a crash. We have had a crash. There's a Repsol Honda there, a Dunlop Yamaha's run off track, and I think I see a Kawasaki and a Suzuki, and I think that's a Fiat Yamaha as well. It's Chris Vermeulen. Chris Vermeulen's down. Colin Edwards is down. Colin Edwards is down. How did he manage that as a Repsol Honda? And it's Pedrosa. Pedrosa is out of this race. That is a massive, massive shame for the Spaniard. And what a disastrous race this has been for him. Literal, real drama here on the first lap. Pedrosa, awful start, and then gets taken out. I did see Chris Vermeulen get back in the race, though, so he will join this race at the back in about 16th place, because I think the other 3 are going to be out of this race. It was Colin Edwards, Dani Pedrosa and Olivier Jacques, OJ. And I think it was OJ who caused it, and it was. He swipes out Edwards and Pedrosa, and then Vermeulen's bike skittles on top of Dani Pedrosa's Repsol Honda, as we see one of the Tech 3 Yamahas go wide. I think it was Sylvain Gintoli. As we look at Marco Melandri behind, and yeah, Vermeulen's bike literally skittles on top of Pedrosa's. And I think that's why Vermeulen was able to get back in the race and not Pedrosa. But it was the Kawasaki, the Frenchman of Olivier Jacques, who has caused this massive pile-up between 4 bikes. He is out of this race. Pedrosa is out, and Colin Edwards is out of this race. And there is Pedrosa. He looks hurt. He hasn't even properly walked away yet. So it is no points for the little samurai today. Meanwhile, at the front, Casey Stoner leads this race now after Valentino Rossi's off-track excursion that has dropped him down to 5th. And now the leading Italian is Loris Capirossi in 2nd. John Hopkins is 3rd. Tony Elias is 4th. With Rossi 5th. Nicky Hayden 6th. Marco Melandri 7th. And then it's Randy Depunier, the other Frenchman on the Kawasaki, in 8th place. but that is a massive shame for Olivier Jacques. He tried to get past Edwards, but it was too late, and there was nowhere through for OJ, and he's taken both Edwards and Pedrosa out, and then Pedrosa ended up taking Chris Vermeulen out as well, but Vermeulen is back in the race. Tony Elias is in fourth. He's had a brilliant start to this race, on the other hand. Unlike Danny Pedrosa, this young Spaniard has had a great start to the race. He started 10th on the grid, and Tony Elias, Tiger Tony, is in fourth. And he is chasing John Hopkins, who is currently in third, trying to chase the two Ducatis. But Stoner has had the start he just wanted after seeing Rossi go off. It was all going so well for Valentino, but then he ran wide and had to sit the bike up, and the two Ducatis just sweep past him, as does John Hopkins, and down to fourth place goes Valentino Rossi. What a shame for the Doctor, and what a shame for Yamaha. Edwards out of the race, and Rossi running wide and gone back down to fifth. He could still make up ground yet, but it's now a harder day at the office for the Doctor as Casey Stoner tries to pull away from the rest of the pack. Tony Elias is trying to stay with both Loris Capirossi and John Hopkins, and Valentino Rossi's a little bit behind these three. Right, here's the replay again. Watch Jacques. He loses it, and the front of his bike takes out the rear of Edwards's, and the rear of Jacques' bike takes out the front of Pedrosa's. This is on board with, I believe, Chris. I think that's Chris Vermeulen. The graphic was wrong. He said it was on board with Marco Melandri, but Melandri didn't crash. So I believe that was on board with Chris Vermeulen because it felt like the bike was on top of someone else's then. So again, Vermeulen's was obviously on top of Pedrosa's. So what a shame for all four riders. Shame for Vermeulen because, he was trying to get past Danny Pedrosa as well. He was trying to go around the outside, but no, he's in last place. Well, he's in 16th because obviously Jacques, Pedrosa and Edwards are all out of this race because obviously there are 19 racers. Meanwhile, Tony Elias is really putting a lot of pressure on John Hopkins as they all approach into turn 6. Meanwhile, Marco Melandri has closed right up on Nicky Hayden. So Melandri could be on the move here and catch up with the front runners. It's been a pretty decent start for Melandri. Started 14th on the grid. He is 7th, but to be fair, he would have been in 10th or 11th if it wasn't for that pile-up on the first lap. So, excuse me. Other than the pile-up, though, it has been a pretty decent start for Melandri as he tries to look through on Nicky Hayden. Nicky Hayden tries to ride so defensively to not let the Hedgehog DJ through. The Kentucky Kid holds on to 6th place. Casey Stoner still leads this race, and he is trying to pull away. I think he is pulling away from his teammate, Loris Capirossi. Tony Elias is on the brakes. He's trying to look at on the inside of John Hopkins, but then goes on the outside and can't find a way through as they approach the end section, the final section of the track. Elias is really trying to not really nurse, he's trying to charge his Honda Gresini past the Rizla Suzuki of John Hopkins. Tony Elias is the leading Honda at the moment, which is incredible for him. But Rossi's closing on these guys because he has just set the fastest lap of the race. And Melandri has got past Nicky Hayden. Melandri is up to 6th place. Can he catch the likes of Rossi, Hopkins, Elias, Capirossi? Won't be easy, though, because Valentino Rossi, the Doctor, has just set the fastest lap of the race. A 1:54.066 for Valentino Rossi, hit there on lap 4. So can this be the change around in fortunes of this race for the Doctor to catch up to Casey Stoner as they approach turn 6 once more? Stoner still leads this race from Capirossi in 2nd, Hopkins 3rd, Tony Elias in 4th, Rossi in 5th, and Elias is once again trying to find a move on John Hopkins. He's closed right up on him then, but Hopkins, just like Hayden with Melandri, Hopkins is riding so defensively at the moment. But the way Tony Elias is catching John Hopkins up, that is helping Loris Capirossi in second place. And there is Colin. Look, he's very angry. He will be angry. Colin Edwards will be furious with that collision caused by Olivier Jacques. It's a shame because he qualified second on the grid and he was hoping for a very, very good race today. But unfortunately, that has been spoiled for him by the Kawasaki of Olivier Jacques. And Edwards, I'm sure, will be absolutely furious with that. Meanwhile, Valentino Rossi tries to make a move on Tony Elias, but can't find a way through and runs it wide. And Hopkins still holds on to third. So, ain't going to be an easy day for Rossi, but Elias goes right past John Hopkins, but runs it wide also. So Hopkins regains third place, and Rossi goes past Elias. Valentino Rossi is up to fourth, because Tony Elias tried to get into third. He was in third, ran it wide. Hopper got third back, and now Elias has gone down to fifth after being passed by Valentino Rossi, who found a way on the straight there. And that's the thing, because it's unusual from the Yamaha, because the Yamahas are usually better on the corners, whereas the Hondas and the Ducatis are usually better on the straights. And I think the Suzukis go same with the Yamahas. They tend to be late breakers and go well on the corners. We're currently looking at Loris Capirossi. He is second in this race. Can he catch Casey Stoner and get his first win of the season? It will be a tough ask, though, because Casey Stoner is riding absolutely brilliantly at the front. And he is holding on to that lead, maintaining the gap between him and his teammates. And, it's helping. It's just a brilliant start to the race for the Ducati team. A 1-2. The only thing is, Capirossi and Stoner, that's if Stoner does get caught up, obviously. But they have got strong competition because Hopkins, Rossi and Elias are right there. And they could find a way through on one on another. So, yeah. Excuse me. We're on board with Valentino Rossi. As we are about to approach the fast straight and into the M section, as Valentino Rossi late breaks past John Hopkins. He's past he's run it wide. He's past Hopkins, but he's run it wide, and Hopper regains third place. So Valentino Rossi needs to find a way. Oh, look at him. He's going to barge right past John Hopkins here on the final corner. What a move by Rossi. And Tony Elias is going to get past as well. Yes, Elias is past Hopkins. Elias is in fourth. And Hopkins goes down to fifth in the space of like 5 seconds. So that isn't great news for him, but obviously he is still in the hunt. But no, John Hopkins was in third, but what a move this was from Rossi. Literally barged his way through on the final corner before the start-finish straight. And then Tony Elias joined him to get past John Hopkins. So yeah, great move on the straight from the pair of them to get past John Hopkins. So now, can Valentino Rossi catch the Ducatis? That's the question. Can Tony Elias catch the Ducatis? Can John Hopkins catch the Ducatis, even though he's just been passed by Rossi and Elias? But watch out for Melandri and Hayden, because they're not too far behind either. Stoner still leads at the front. Capirossi is obviously in second place still. Rossi is closing on him, I can tell. Valentino Rossi is closing on his compatriot, Loris Capirossi. The thing is, can he find a way through? Mind you, there are 16 laps to go, so there is still plenty of time. So, can Rossi do it? There is Melandri in fifth. Sixth. Nicky Hayden is in... Melandri sixth. Hayden seventh, I apologise. Alex Barros eighth. Randy Depunier is also there as well. He's in ninth. Fairly decent ride so far for Randy Depunier, and he hasn't lost touch with Alex Barros, and Barros is closing in on Nicky Hayden, so that's great. This has been a great race for Alex Barros so far, as Tony Elias tries to have a look through on Valentino Rossi, but not this time for Tiger Tony. So, as again, he's still got 16 laps to do it, but Stoner has completed yet another lap. He is nearly 1.5 seconds ahead of his teammate Loris Capirossi. Rossi third, Tony Elias in fourth, John Hopkins in fifth, with Melandri in sixth, Hayden seventh, Barros eighth, Randy Depunier ninth. They are your top 9. Second to ninth are literally very, very close to each other. And then it's a 2-second gap from Randy Depunier to Alex Hoffman, who's currently in 10th place. We're on lap 7, and Valentino Rossi, obviously on the first lap, ran off track, and if it wasn't for that, he would have surely been at the front, battling with Casey Stoner for the lead, but that costed him to stay at the front with Stoner, and Rossi obviously fell all the way back to 5th place, but now he is he's regaining his positions once more, and he is closing in on Loris Capirossi, so he could come up to 2nd place. But there is a new gap. Capirossi has slightly bridged the gap between him and Stoner, but Rossi is closing in on Capirossi, and Rossi could use this acceleration and form to catch up with Casey Stoner at the front, because Stoner is riding this race absolutely brilliantly. But watch Tony Elias. Watch Tony Elias. He looks to make a move on Valentino Rossi, but not quite. He does have a look, but not this time for Tony Elias. He is right behind Valentino Rossi. He is right there. I would not rule him out for a podium one bit. He really does fancy his chances, Tony Elias. And Rossi, well, there's a bit of a wheelie there from Rossi, but he is literally trying his best to catch up with Loris Capirossi. Those three, Capirossi, Rossi and Elias, are now just over 1.2 seconds ahead of John Hopkins in 5th, who is now being caught up by the quartet of Melandri, Hayden, Barros and Depunier. So Elias and Rossi have pulled away from Hopkins slightly, so that's good news for them. Not so good news for John Hopkins, of course, but still 5th place. As if we put the checkered flag out now, 5th place is still a very good result for John Hopkins. But just look at Stoner. He is just riding absolutely brilliantly. Can any of these guys catch Casey Stoner at the front? Rossi has a look at Loris Capirossi there. He was on board with Rossi, and he was right on his back tyre, but Rossi has got through. He is up into 2nd place here with 14 laps to go. Tony Elias is also looking to try and find a way past Loris Capirossi. He is really looking to get past Loris Capirossi, Tony Elias. But time will obviously tell in the next 14 laps. Elias really is there, though. He is really on a chance for a podium. He's caught Capirex right up. But no, that is a great move from Valentino Rossi. Nicely done from him. So now, can he catch up to Stoner as the guys now approach the fastest corner in MotoGP, turn 10. But now, well, they've gone past it now, I apologise. Now they're in the M section. But Tony Elias has got past Loris Capirossi, and Tony Elias has gone up to 3rd place. I did say that he would be there for, after seeing his lightning start, he will be there as his crew looks on. Can he get past Valentino Rossi? I think he has the pace to do it as well, but can he do it? Can he stay put with Valentino Rossi as the doctor tries to catch up with Stoner? But Stoner has, Stoner's getting away more now because the gap's now gone up to 2 seconds, so this ain't going to be easy for Rossi at all. So, it's Bridgestone leading the race with Mitchell in 2nd, Bridgestone 3rd, Bridgestone 4th, Bridgestone 5th, Bridgestone 6th, Mitchell in 7th, Bridgestone 8th, Bridgestone 9th. So it is mainly Bridgestones. There's only 2 Michelins in that top 9, which isn't great for them at all. And those 2 are obviously Rossi and Hayden. So it is. I know the crash with Jacques, Pedrosa and Edwards was unfortunate. So that got 2 main Michelin runners out of the race, Edwards and Pedrosa. But the thing is, at the moment, Bridgestone have had a much better race than Michelin, that's for sure, especially looking at the top 9 in this race so far. Rossi has pulled back slightly towards Stoner, but it is still around 2 seconds. But Tony Elias is staying with Rossi as they approach the fast right-hander, the fastest corner, as we all know, in MotoGP. Tony Elias is really there with him. He's not letting Rossi get away at all. And I think Elias is looking to go past here, and he does. Oh, what a move by Tony Elias. That's going to put Rossi right off. And oh, he's nearly fallen. That's put Rossi right wide. The doctor will not be happy with that move one bit. I think that was a very, very aggressive move by Tony Elias. But that has put the Honda Gresini rider up into second place. That will put a shake of the head on Valentino Rossi, that's for sure. But Tony Elias is now up to second place and is now trying to catch Casey Stoner. So, watch this move. Look at that. Very, very, very aggressive riding. I thought it was a very good move, to be honest. I thought it was a very fair move. Rossi did nearly fall off because his right leg was lifted up, but I know he will not be happy at all. His feelings will be abundantly clear towards Tony Elias after this race, but I'm not. I think it looked like a fair move to me, but I'm not sure Valentino Rossi will be happy with that one bit. Meanwhile, Casey Stoner still leads the way with Tony Elias now up to second. If we put the checkered flag out now, this will be Tony Elias's best result of his MotoGP career in the Premier Class, other than his win, obviously, at Estoril at the end of 2006, where he beat Valentino Rossi right to the line. Excuse me. Can Tony Elias catch up to Stoner? I don't know if Rossi can now, because there's now 12 laps to go, and I think that could put a big impact on Rossi's race. And in fact, Capirossi and Hopkins have closed right up to are closing right up to Rossi now. So they approach the fast right-hander. Rossi cannot seem to catch Tony Elias. And Tony Elias looks to be pulling away from these three men in 3rd, 4th and 5th place. Hopkins, though, is looking at, away past Loris Capirossi. But further back in 7th place, Nicky Hayden has set the fastest lap of the race, and he could join these guys in a minute in the battle for 3rd place, because look at Melandri also. Melandri is also trying to catch Hopkins. There is Hayden. He's in 7th with Alex Barros just behind. 11 laps to go. Can Nicky catch the guys for 3rd place? I don't think he'll win the race, that's for sure. I don't think he'll finish 2nd, but he could be on the podium if he can catch the guys in 3rd, 4th and 5th place. We are on board with Nicky Hayden. Despite being overtaken by Melandri earlier, he could really, him, Melandri, Alex Barros, Randy Depudier, they could all catch these guys at the front. Well, for 3rd place, Rossi, Hopkins, Capirossi, they could all catch these guys, and it should be a frantic fight for 3rd place. And we've now got 11 laps to go. I don't think any of them are going to catch Stoner at the front, though. He is gone like a god. Stoner, I think, will win this race, but that depends if Tony Elias can catch up to him. As we have a look at Nicky Hayden, Alex Barros is literally coming along with him in this battle, because those two are both chasing Melandri, who in turn, Melandri is chasing Hopkins and Capirossi. So we get to the fast right-hander. The corner Alex Barros actually makes time for. Stoner still leads as they approach the M section once more. Elias 2nd, Rossi 3rd, Capirossi 4th, Hopkins 5th, Melandri 6th. Alex Barros had a look on Nicky Hayden, but no way through. Melandri has really close to Hopkins, though. I know we were saying that Nicky Hayden just set the fastest lap of the race, but Marco Melandri really is closing in on these two here, John Hopkins and Loris Capirossi. Capirossi, in turn, is trying to defend from Hopper, but Melandri's catching the two Italians plus the American of John Hopkins, as is Nicky Hayden, as is Alex Barros, and Randy Depudier could join them as well. 10 laps to go. Tony Elias is still in 2nd place. He hasn't quite caught up to Casey Stoner, so he could settle for 2nd yet, because I don't know if he'll have the pace for catching up to Stoner, but time will tell. It depends if the Bridgestone Hondas will have a better chance than the Bridgestone Ducatis? Time will tell. Meanwhile, Tony Lewis's teammate Marco Melandri really is putting pressure now on John Hopkins. Melandri really could be in shout for a podium here, as could Hayden, like I said. But Melandri's going right round the outside of Hopkins. He's really up for it, the Italian from Ravenna. Can he do it? Can Melandri do it? Can he get past John Hopkins as they approach turn 9 once more? Melandri needs to get past Hopkins if he wants to be on the podium, that's for sure. And Loris Capirossi, because I feel Loris Capirossi now is holding these guys here at the back as they all once again go past the fast right-hander. Melandri did have a look, try to get past Hopkins there. Hopkins in turn though goes past Capirossi. And Melandri, what a move by Melandri. Capirossi will not be happy with that. And Capirossi has lost 2 positions in the space of a corner. Disaster for him. Well, not really disaster because he hasn't crashed, but that is a shame for Loris. He has gone back down to 6th place after that. Hopkins is past him. Melandri is past Capirossi. And Barros has got past Nicky Hayden. Barros must have passed the Kentucky kid then on the M section. So Barros is flying here. What a race this is for the Pramac Danti Ducati rider. And what a return to MotoGP this is for the oldest, obviously now the oldest rider on the grid. This is a great race for Alex Barros in 7th place. Melandri, can he get past Hopkins there? We saw the front of his bike then wobble slightly. He could have been off. Oh, he closes right up to Hopper, but he doesn't find a way through. Stoner is gone at the front. He has pulled away from Tony Elias, who can't catch up with Casey Stoner. Valentino Rossi's trying his best to stay with him, but look at Melandri. He is really in the mood here. Can he get past John Hopkins? Watch this again. Hopkins gets past Capirossi, but Capirossi runs it wide. Melandri barges his way through on Loris Capirossi, and Capirossi will not be happy. Loris will not be happy with that one bit. He is down to 6th. He could now be caught by Nicky Hayden. He hasn't quite yet. Melandri still trying to find a way past Hopkins with 9 laps to go as they approach turn 9 once more. Barros has obviously passed Hayden. Melandri really fancies a podium here because Rossi is not getting away at all from these guys. He is holding this group up for 3rd place. Melandri is trying to get past Hopkins, not quite able to do so. Hopkins in turn tries to find a way past Rossi, but no way through for either of them. As they all go to the last corner of the circuit once more, Melandri cannot find a way past John Hopkins. And Loris Capirossi will be frustrated in 6th place after what happened just then. Stoner is nearly 4 seconds ahead of Tony Elias. He is gone like a bullet, Casey Stoner. He is surely going to win this late race. There is 8 laps to go. I think he's got it in the bag here, the Australian. It depends. If he doesn't crash, this is surely Stoner's 2nd win in the top class and his 2nd win of his of 2007. We look at Nicky Hayden. He is currently in 8th place, trying to get back past Alex Barros. But all these guys are in a shout for the podium here because Rossi really is holding this group out. And Tony Elias has pulled away from Valentino Rossi there as they all go into turn 6. Rossi's holding this group up for 3rd. And I think the Doctor is struggling. It's a battle for 3rd between Valentino Rossi, John Hopkins, Marco Melandri, Loris Capirossi, Nicky Hayden and Alex Barros. Any one of these men could be on the podium. Tony Elias is surely on the podium now if he doesn't crash. Those two, Casey Stoner and Tony Elias, are surely on the podium here with the way they're riding at the moment. Brilliant races from both of them. Hayden and Barros are side by side, but Barros uses his late braking to get back past Nicky Hayden as they all once again approach the fast right-hander. Yet they're side by side again. Look at Hayden. He's trying to find a way through, but no way through. Not this time for the Kentucky kid, the man from Owensboro. Barros holds on to 7th. Hopkins, meanwhile, gets past Valentino Rossi, and John Hopkins is up to 3rd. Melandri gets past Rossi also, and Rossi's gone down to 5th, and Rossi's run wide. Rossi runs wide, but he does hold on to 5th. Loris Capirossi nearly got past him. He does get past him. Capirossi, Melandri and Hopkins all go past Rossi there in the space of 10 seconds. About 10 seconds, roughly. Look at Barros now on the straight. Barros could get past Rossi. What a disastrous couple of corners that has been for the Doctor. Rossi has gone down to 7th from 3rd in the space of just under a minute. And now Rossi is under pressure from the man who he challenged the world title with in 2006, Nicky Hayden, the man who stole his crown in 2006. What a disastrous couple of seconds that was for Rossi then. Was in 3rd, going into the M section, turn 11. Hopkins finds a way through. Then in turn 12, Melandri goes through. And then Rossi runs it wide, obviously. And then Capirossi goes through on the last corner. Barros gets past him on the straight. Absolute disaster for Valentino Rossi, that was. Absolute disaster. And he is down to 7th. He will be very, very, very angry with that. He'll be very frustrated. Melandri, meanwhile, tries to get past Hopkins to go up to 3rd, but still no way through for the Hedgehog DJ from Ravenna. John Hopkins is in 3rd. Hopper is now heading this battle for 3rd place. Alex Barros is trying everything he can to get past Loris Capirossi. It is the satellite Ducati versus the factory Ducati. Brilliant race this is for Barros. They're all side by side. Look at this. Capirossi uses his Ducati horsepower to get past Hopkins. Hopkins goes down to 4th. Melandri's 5th. Barros is 6th. And that has put Loris Capirossi back in the podium positions. That was brilliant then from Loris. He was in 5th. He was coming under so much pressure from Barros, and then uses his Ducati horsepower to go right past Melandri and Hopkins, and Nicky Hayden has got past Valentino Rossi, so Rossi goes down to 8th. This has been a disastrous race for Rossi if it stays like this. Hayden moves up to 7th, and he is now the top Michelin rider, but that technically sums up Michelin's race, pretty much. This race has been a much better race for Bridgestone. It is literally all Bridgestone racers in the top 6. Nicky Hayden is trying his absolute best to catch up with these guys for 3rd, and he is the top Michelin runner. Maybe Petroza and Edwards could have battled in this battle for 3rd place, or maybe challenged Stoner for the lead, but they aren't there. They crashed on the first lap, so it is really Nicky Hayden's job now to do it all for Michelin, unless Valentino Rossi has some sort of massive comeback. I don't know if he will, but if he did, that would be amazing, but I can't see it happening. Melandri slightly ran it wide there, and Barros looks to get through on the Italian. And the Brazilian lines up a manoeuvre here going into turn 9. I think Barros is through. He is through. Alex Barros gets past Marco Melandri into 5th place. And what a move that is from the old dog. That is a great move from the number 4, getting past the number 33. But it is the number 65, Loris Capirossi, who still has this 3rd place at the moment. Stoner still leads, and he is racing brilliantly. Absolutely. Look at Barros. Look at Barros. He was about to get right past John Hopkins there. And I think he is through on Hopkins. No, they're side by side. Hopper holds on. Or Melandri's fighting back. Melandri and Hopkins nearly touched. Barros did all he could then, but he has lost a position to Melandri once more, as Melandri goes side by side with John Hopkins. What a race here we have in Turkey. 5 laps to go. Capirossi is 3rd, Hopkins is 4th, Melandri is 5th, Barros is 6th. What a race we have here for 3rd here in Istanbul. Barros looked to have him then. He looked to have John Hopkins there in the last couple of corners in the M section, but he did not find a way through. He was agonisingly close. Then Melandri and Hopkins nearly touched, but that allowed also Melandri to get his extra speed to get past Barros, and Melandri in turn was so close to getting past John Hopkins. I feel Hopper is holding this group up here. Oh no, sorry, my bad. Capirossi obviously is still in 3rd. I think John Hopkins is trying to hold on to 4th place, because I'm not so sure if his Suzuki is having the pace of the rest of the Honda Gresini's and the Ducatis at the moment. Meanwhile, we look at the race leader, Casey Stoner. He is nearly 6 seconds ahead of Tony Elias. It's been a fantastic ride for the Australian. Also for Tony Elias, a fantastic ride for him. This will be one of the best races of his career. As for Stoner as well, those two are surely on the podium today. They are surely going to be first and second today. So it is really now down to the battle for third. Loris Capirossi still has that third place. Melandri, though, is trying to find another way past Hopkins as we go in towards the M section again. Melandri's through. Melandri's in fourth. Oh, and he forces Hopkins wide. Hopper's gone wide right there. And Barros goes up to fifth. Hopper's not going to be happy with that. Oh, look at the Kentucky kid of Nicky Hayden. Hayden is through on Hopkins. Hayden's up to sixth, so that's good news for Michelin and for Honda. Well, the factory Honda team and for Nicky Hayden. Hayden's up into sixth. Can he catch the guys just ahead of him? That was a terrible couple of corners there from John Hopkins. He was trying his hardest to hold on to fourth place, but Melandri made the move and he forced Hopkins wide, which allowed Barros to go through, and then Nicky got past John right at turn 13. We now have a look at Tony Elias, who is still riding beautifully in second place. There is 4 laps to go. It has been a superb performance from Tony Elias. It has been, let's be honest, it's been a superb performance from Loris Capirossi as well, because obviously he was unlucky in Qatar, crashed out of fifth while setting the fastest lap of the race. He was unlucky in Qatar. Then he had a disastrous race in Jerez, finishing in 12th. So this is a return to form for the man who finished third in 2006, Loris Capirossi. Been a great race for him. It won't be easy for him to hold on to that third place, though, because Melandri and Barros are right there. They are trying their best to catch up to Loris Capirossi. Then it's the 2 Americans, Hayden and Hopkins, in 6th and 7th. Valentino Rossi is having a terrible race in 8th. And look who's caught up to him. Look at this. That is Randy Depunier in 9th. And he has caught right up on Valentino Rossi. This, again, literally sums up Michelin's race, because the Bridgestones are looking far better this race than the Michelins do, because Rossi is absolutely struggling right now. Hayden, on the other hand, is, he's having a much better race than Rossi, that's for sure, but he cannot get away from Hopkins in 6th place. He is trying to catch Melandri, Capirossi and Barros, but he can't get rid of Hopkins behind him. And Rossi, he now can't get rid of Randy Depunier. This has been a real disappointing race for Valentino Rossi. Randy Depunier is surely going to get past and go up to 8th place. This is not going to be a good result for Rossi, or it's not going to be a good day at the office at Yamaha, that's for sure. Depunier could get past him. He really could. Randy looks like Randy Depunier honestly looks like he's in the mood to get past Valentino Rossi as we go back on board with our race leader, Casey Stoner, riding absolutely beautifully at the front. This will move Casey Stoner onto 61 points if we put the checkered flag out now, and that will put Casey Stoner back to the top of the championship standings. If he wins today, that will put him back ahead of Valentino Rossi in the championship standings, and I know it's still early days because it's only the 3rd race of the season, but just see how impressive Casey Stoner, though, has been on that Ducati. Just absolutely superb. Great ride from Elias in 2nd and Capirossi in 3rd. Barros, another one, that's having an absolute brilliant race. He's just the veteran of the MotoGP riders. He's back on there, and he's on a satellite Ducati as well. That is amazing for Alex Barros. He could be on the podium yet today if he can challenge his fellow old dog Loris Capirossi for 3rd place. 2 laps to go. Stoner leads. Tony Elias is in 2nd. Capirossi has not got away from Barros and Melandri, so I think personally Hayden and Hopkins are now out of this one for getting on the podium. They are still there, but I don't think they'll get on the podium at all. For me, it's between Melandri, Capirossi and Barros. Who is going to get on the podium out of these three? Capirossi still has it, but Barros really is catching up to Loris Capirossi. Randy Depunier, meanwhile, has got past Valentino Rossi, and Rossi's race just gets worse and worse. Melandri gets past Barros. Melandri makes a manoeuvre and goes up to 4th. Melandri could be on the podium, yeah. He could get past Capirossi, yeah. Barros will want to fight back, though. He will definitely want to bite back. And he has not lost sight of Melandri yet. Melandri can't get away from Barros, but Capirossi can't get away from either of those two. And that is actually, their ding-dong battle is actually helping Nicky Hayden catch up to the two. Meanwhile, Valentino Rossi goes down to 10th. He's been overtaken by Alex Barros' teammate, Alex Hoffman, the other Pramac Dantin Ducati, the German rider, the number 66, has gone up to 9th place. This is a great ride for Alex Hoffman, a brilliant race for the Pramac Dantin Ducati team. Awful race for the Yamaha team, that's for sure. And Valentino Rossi is only going to score 6 points today. Absolute disaster this has been for the Doctor. And an absolute superb performance this has been from the young Australian Casey Stoner. Barros has got past Melandri once more. So, who's it going to be then? They're now approaching the final corner. And Stoner has now started his last lap. Barros has got back past Melandri. Can he get past Capirossi? We're now on the last lap. This last lap is going to decide it. Casey Stoner will surely win this race. Tony Lewis will surely finish second. Unless he runs wide, because he hasn't... he is in sight for the men in 3rd, 4th and 5th. That's for sure. But I think he will hold on to second, but we'll see. Capirossi's 3rd, Barros is 4th, Melandri is 5th, and Barros is holding on to his dear life to that 4th place and trying his best to catch Loris Capirossi. Melandri is putting as much pressure as he can to get past Alex Barros to go into 4th place and challenge Loris Capirossi himself. Hayden hasn't quite lost out. He's in 6th place still, but I don't think he's going to get past these three. His Michelins do not have the pace of the Bridgestones. We look at Casey Stoner going into turn 9. He is racing absolutely beautifully at the front. Tony Elias is still in 2nd, and he will surely hold on to that 2nd. Barros really wants to find a way through on Loris Capirossi. If Capirossi finishes on the podium, this will be an incredible result for the Ducati team. Finishing 1st and 3rd, one of their best results in the top class. Obviously, the best result ever they've had was Valencia in 2006 with Troy Bayliss. But meanwhile, Barros goes through. Barros has gone through. Barros has gone through. Can he hold it? No. What a late manoeuvre there by Loris. And Loris has got back up to 3rd place. That is a shame for Alex Barros, but he tried his dear hardest. Meanwhile, Casey Stoner has won the Turkish Grand Prix. What a race for the Australian. Tony Elias is going to come 2nd. A great ride for him. Barros has tried his best, but it is Loris Capirossi who finishes in 3rd place ahead of Barros and Melandri. Hopkins pips Hayden to 6th. Depunier is 8th. Hoffman is 9th. And there is Valentino Rossi in an awful 10th place today. What a shame for the Doctor, but an incredible race for the Ducati squad. A brilliant day for Honda Gresini as well. Superb Stoner. Casey Stoner's 2nd win in the top class. Casey Stoner's 2nd win in 2007. And as he shakes hands with his teammate Loris Capirossi, great sportsmanship between the two teammates there. And this will put the young Australian, the young gun, back to the top of the table with Rossi's disastrous race. Great ride by Stoner. Superb by Elias. Superb by Capirossi. Brilliant ride by Barros. It's a shame he didn't finish on the podium, but he was very, very, very close. As we see the shaking hands between and respect between Casey Stoner and Loris Capirossi. Great sportsmanship between the two riders. for the Ducati team there. Alex Barros, what a shame he finished in 4th, but he was very, very close. This is still a brilliant ride from Alex Barros. Melandri finished 5th. A great ride for Melandri. You could say a bit disappointing in terms of the fact that he would have wanted to win this race, that's for sure, like he did in 2006 and 2005. But the new winner of the Turkish Grand Prix here in 2007 is indeed Casey Stoner. Stoner has won here before as well. He won the 250 race in 2005 here in Turkey. So, and he was obviously agonisingly close in 2006, but lost out in that battle to Melandri. What a race for the Pramac Danti Ducati team. They will have every right to be happy. A brilliant race from Barros. Also a brilliant race from Alex Hoffman in 9th place. That's not a bad race from him at all. And overtaking Valentino Rossi right at the end. Just puts more salt into Rossi's face, finishing in 10th place. What a shame for the doctor. It's not been a good day for Michelin or Yamaha at all. As we look at the first lap pile-up once again that Olivier Jacques caused, that took out Colin Edwards, Danny Pedrosa and Chris Vermeulen out of the race. Vermeulen, though, did get back in the race and he ended up finishing in 11th. So, what a race from Chris Vermeulen. He has gone right from last place after that crash and he's made a couple of positions to score 5 points. That's great from Chris Vermeulen. But, no, not a good race for Michelin at all. The guy who made the most effort today for Michelin was Hayden, finishing in 7th. It's a shame he lost out to Hopkins right at the end, but Hayden's the highest Michelin finisher in 7th place. Excuse me. Rossi finishes 10th. Terrible race for him. Chris Vermeulen's 11th. Carlos Checa 12th. He's the next Michelin rider. Then it's Shinji Nakano in 13th. And then Makoto Tamada 14th. Gintoli 15th. Roberts 16th. So out of the Michelin riders, only Hayden, Rossi, Checa, Nakano and Roberts finished because Edwards and Pedrosa, 2 contenders for the race win today, got knocked out in the first lap pile-up caused by Olivier Jacques of the Kawasaki team. We just seen Alex Barros, a great ride from him. Shame he's not on the podium, but that's still a fantastic ride to put that Pramac Danti Ducati for 13 points and in 4th place. Tony Lewis, great race for him as we see another respectable moment between Casey Stoner and Loris Capirossi. And Stoner will go out of Istanbul with 61 points and he will be leading this World Championship as we go to the next round. As we will soon go to the next round, round 4, the Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai. It's April the 22nd today, and we are in Shanghai on May the 6th. So we will be back soon for the 4th round of the 2007 MotoGP World Championship. Here we go then, the results. Casey Stoner wins. Tony Lewis 2nd, Loris Capirossi 3rd, Barros 4th, Melandri 5th, Hopkins 6th, Hayden 7th, Depunier 8th, Alex Hoffman 9th, Valentino Rossi in a disappointing 10th place, Chris Vermeulen 11th, Carlos Checa 12th, with Nakano 13th, Tamada, followed by Gintoli and Kenny Roberts Jr. in 16th. So here's the championship. Casey Stoner leads Valentino Rossi by 10 points. Then Rossi is on 51 points, and then it's all the way back to Danny Pedrosa, 3rd in the table on 36. Elias is 4th on 35. Melandri 5th on 30. Nicky Hayden and Alex Barros are both on 20. Nicky Hayden and Colin Edwards are on 26 each. Then it's Alex Barros on 25. Hopkins on 23. Vermeulen 21. Capirossi 20. Nakano 15, Checa 14, Hoffman 12, Depunier 11, Tamada 4, Jacques 4, Gintoli 3, and Kenny Roberts Jr. 3. What a return to form for Loris Capirossi. Back on the podium after two shameful races. The first one being unlucky, the second one being disappointing down in 12th place when he dominated the Jerez race of 2006 at the start of 2006. But he is back on form in third place today. But the question is now for the Chinese race in Shanghai, who can beat Casey Stoner? Superb ride for the number 27. So here are the highlights of the Turkish Grand Prix. Pedrosa getting an awful start there from third on the grid. Elias getting a lightning start. The Yamahas, everything was going well for the Yamahas. And then Valentino Rossi ran it wide, followed by Colin Edwards getting knocked out by Olivier Jacques. Danny Pedrosa also got knocked out. And in turn, Chris Vermeulen went down as well as one of the Dunlop Yamahas went wide. Vermeulen got back on the track. Pedrosa, Edwards and Jacques were out of the race. So, after the crash, it was a battle for third place. Second place to start with, because Casey Stoner, after that crash, just simply got away from the rest of the pack. It was a battle for second place initially, because Capirossi was in second. We see Rossi do that amazing move on Hopkins. Then he goes past Capirossi to try and hunt down Stoner. But then, once Tony Elias got past Valentino Rossi, as we see Tony Elias go past Loris Capirossi, once Tony Elias got past the doctor, that is where the number 46's race changed from there. Rossi would have been fuming with that move from Tony Elias, as we see Hopkins and Melandri both get past him, and that put Rossi down to 6th. Then Nicky Hayden gets past Rossi, Alex Barros gets past Rossi, then Melandri pulls this manoeuvre on Hopkins, forces Hopkins wide, and that put Hopkins right to 6th place. That got Hayden past Hopkins as well, so Hopkins went down to 7th, and he looked to struggle at the end, but no one struggled more than Valentino Rossi, as we see Randy Depunier get past him, but domination, complete domination from Casey Stoner. Once Rossi gifted him the lead on the first lap, it was a matter of watching his pitboard with every lap except the first and last within 0.7s. You could believe Stoner when he really could have, to be honest, looking at the pace he had, he could have gone quicker. But no, true domination by Casey Stoner. First Stoner, second Elias, third Loris Capirossi. Great race for Ducati. Great race for Honda Gresini. Also a great race from the Pramac Danti Ducati team. How do the rest of the teams get on? Well, what I'm gonna do now is give each team a score out of 10 for their races today. Repsol Honda. Hayden was the highest Michelin finisher, finishing 7th, but Pedrosa crashed out of the race and had a terrible start. I'm going to give Repsol Honda a 6. Probably because of the efforts Hayden put in. So yeah, I'll give him that. Yamaha, I give a 3. Rossi was up there, but once Tony Elias put that move on him, it was a disastrous race for Rossi from there. Edwards, on the other hand, crashed on the first lap. The Ducatis, 10. No question about it. The Honda Gressinis, 9. The Suzukis, I'm going to give a 7 because John Hopkins tried his hardest, but I also found out that Chris Vermeulen set the fastest lap of this race at the end. So it really has been an incredible comeback from Chris Vermeulen. He could have challenged with the guys for third if he didn't crash with Pedrosa and Edwards and Olivier Jacques. Team Roberts, I'd probably give a 1. 16th place, not good enough. Kawasaki, I'd probably give a 5. Depunier tried his best. He didn't have too bad of a race in 8th place. Jacques caused the crash on the first lap. LCR Honda, I'd give a 4. Carlos Checa down in 12th. The Dunlop Yamahas a 2, down in 14th and 15th. And then Shinya Nakano's team, Konica Minolta Honda, a 3. With Nakano finishing in 13th. And then the Pramac Dantine Ducati team, I have to give them a 9. Because what a race that was from Barros. And Hoffman, what a race from him as well. He's 5th on top speed as well. Top speed was Stoner, Barros 2nd, Jacques 3rd, Capirossi 4th, Hoffman 5th, Hopkins, Melandri, Rossi and Raddy Depoulier completing the front 9 for the top speed today in Istanbul. Christopher Whelan 10th, Nicky Hayden 11th, Gintoli 12th, Elias 13th, Tamada 14th, Checa 15th, Nakano 16th, with Edwards and Pedrosa right at the back. What a race that was. And we will see you guys soon for round 4 of the Chinese Grand Prix at Shanghai. Well, in a minute, the top 3 are going to be on the podium. Look at that trophy. That's surely got to be one of the best trophies I've seen in MotoGP. The Turkish Grand Prix Istanbul trophy is literally the emblem of the Turkish flag. And that looks brilliant as we see Casey Stoner and Loris Capirossi talking. Huge respect between the two riders. It's only been 3 races, but there's already huge respect between Stoner and Capirossi. Great race between the pair of them. As with Tony Elias finishing in 2nd place. Just an absolute superb ride for Tiger Tony. So here we are then. The top 3 coming out on the podium. In 3rd place, Loris Capirossi. In 2nd place, Tony Elias. And the race winner, the young Australian, number 27, Casey Stoner. And what a race it was for him. The whole of the Ducati team applause, and they have every right to do so because it has just been a superb race from start to finish for the Bologna-based team. So, the new dad, Loris Capirossi, because he has now become a father to a new child. His wife Ingrid got pregnant for Riccardo Capirossi, and the man who's just become a father has just got his trophy for 3rd place. Great ride for the Italian veteran. The next presentation is going to go to Tony Elias. A great ride from the Spaniard. He honestly rode like a stocky version of Kevin Schwantz and really yanked Rossi's chain when he put that tough pass on the Italian at the end of the back straight. But none of them today have beaten the young Australian Casey Stoner, who will get the biggest Turkish trophy, biggest Turkish delight of them all. And the young kangaroo receives the Turkish trophy and extends his lead in the World Championship by 10 points over Valentino Rossi after Rossi's awful race here today, finishing in 10th place. And the thing is now, the question is, can Casey Stoner go all the way and win the title. It is still early days yet, and he is a young guy, still maturing in the MotoGP class. As we now listen to the Australian national anthem. Excuse me. But yeah, what I was saying was, the young Australian is now going to extend his lead to 10 points in the World Championship. He's still maturing. He's still very young. It's his second victory of his Premier Class career here in MotoGP. Both of his victories, of course, have been with Ducati. The first one, obviously, happened 2 races ago in Qatar, his first one. And the boys now get the champagne out. Loris Capirossi sprays the champagne straight into Casey Stoner's face. Right into the eyes and the face for the race winner. But this championship could still be anyone's. Yes, Stoner is the man on form at the moment. He's looking absolutely brilliantly, but this championship could still be anyone's. Rossi could fight back in Shanghai. Pedrosa could get his first victory. But what about Nicky Hayden? He could bounce back as well. The reigning world champion. Loris Capirossi, he could be there. Marco Melandri. Watch out for the forms, though, of Colin Edwards, Tony Elias and John Hopkins too, because Elias had a brilliant race today. He'll be one to watch in Shanghai. So, yeah, as we just see Livio Supo, the Ducati manager, congratulate both Stoner and Capirossi for the race. We will see you next time for round 4 of the 2007 MotoGP World Championship at the Shanghai International Circuit in China on May the 6th. So, we will be going from Istanbul, where the border of Europe and Asia are literally right next to each other. But next time out in China, we will well and truly be in Asia for round 4. Can Casey Stoner get a 3rd win of the season? Or can Valentino Rossi fight back? Can Danny Pedrosa get his first win? Or what about Nicky Hayden? Or Marco Melandri? Or Loris Capirossi? But watch out for Tony Elias, Colin Edwards, the likes of them. John Hopkins too. He could be there as well. We'll find out in the next race. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Cheerio!